Hello, welcome to episode 4 and the final episode to Road to Locals because it's Locals Day. Yes, I'm recording this hopefully the day before this goes live um, because today is Locals. So I'm, of course, bringing Galaxy Eyes to Locals. My very first ever Local. So if you're new here and you don't know what this mini-series has been about, well, for the past 2-3 weeks, I have known that finally where I live is getting a local scene where there we do have a card shop and it's finally now doing Yu-Gi-Oh. In the past it's done everything but Yu-Gi-Oh, but now we're slowly adding in Yu-Gi-Oh as well, and today is the very first day for it. So myself, three of my other friends are going to be there. I'm bringing Galaxy Eyes because it's the only 100% complete deck that I have on such short notice. Like the entire deck is now complete, main, side, and extra deck. It is all here. There's no proxies because the last card that I was waiting for, which was the third copy of Crossout, had arrived in between filming for episode 3 and now. So go check out episodes 1, 2, and 3 because episode 1 was just the introduction, going over the deck at the time. Episode 2 was practice, where I, took this deck up against 3 different decks and went 2-1, 2 wins against the two decks and 1 loss against another deck. Probably could have went to game 3 on further reflection for the other for against Blackwing, against my friend who plays Blackwing, because I could have made Zeus after attacking with Galaxy Photon Dragon. I just wasn't thinking. Um, but yeah, so this is going to be more vlog style stuff. Like I have to go pick up my friends, come back here, making them breakfast because it's Sunday, so not a lot of places are open today. And then we're just going to chill, go. It's also Pokemon Go Community Day Classic. So 2 out of 4 of us will be playing that. And then we'll be heading straight up to locals. Will I be filming any of the duels? I'm going to hope so. I will, of course, bring my tripod. I don't know where the big tripod has gone. Uh, but I'm sure I can find it. It shouldn't. Yeah, it's here. So I'll be, of course, bringing my tripod with me that I use to film, and hopefully I can film some duels. But we'll see. I'll have to talk to the store owner and, of course, talk to my opponents. Hopefully there'll be a decent to good turnout, and that this is going to be a thing moving forward, because if this is a thing moving forward, then I can start formulating different video ideas, to do for, going to locals, and it'll be something that I get to do all the time. But with that being said, I have a bus to catch, and so yeah, I hope you enjoyed the video.
I can get your pulse straight up.
I see him.
Stairs, downstairs? Oh, yeah, I see him,
Apparently not. Hey, what's the crack, man?
What's up, bro? Oh, sorry. We need to work on that. What's
Yeah.
the crack?
That's literally the first
Oh,
one.
yeah, definitely.
Okay, bon appetit, enjoy, and never again.
Fucking hate that card still.
Getting some practice in. So we have Heroes versus Blackwing, I'm going to assume. And then I went up against William over there with Cyber Dragons, first time playing in years, and 2-1. I won with Ancient Gears 2-1. So not bad at all.
Still haven't fully lost it.
Still got it. Somewhat.
Yeah, well, let's see how you do in locals. I guarantee you're going to go X3 drop.
If you place Neos, if you place Elemental Hero Neos into your deck, neither player can return the monster special summon by this effect to the extra deck. So I will return Neos and Ubel to the bottom of my deck.
Okay,
Open them now,
I'm opening mine. I'm filming me opening mine now. So we got 3 entry packs, 1 OTS, 2 Legacy of Destruction. I'll say the OTS for second. See what I get. Oh, I got a secret! Gandora G, the Dragon of Destruction.
Cover card, nice.
I have no idea what any of these does.
Nightmare Throne.
It's
Yes.
That's funny, man.
Nice.
That's good.
Delighted.
So, secret.
I got Goblin Biker Trika Gauge Garage.
2025.
Yeah, it's a super.
Ultra.
Literally, when I pay for things, I don't.
Oh, and I
want
got.
them. When I get some.
I already have
Tiger,
3 of these.
Oh, nice. Ashen.
Okay.
Rekindling the Ashen. Gruesome. Yeah, I need.
Time for.
Lightsworn.
I don't know if I need that one.
You did.
Just take it.
Yeah,
You need
I'll,
Shadows.
I'll
Just
take.
take it, man.
That's
I'll
really
take
good.
it. Okay, so here we go. Electronic Virus, Magispector, and just Labyrinth Challenger. Super.
Right. Come on.
I
It's a
mean,
really good pull, man.
I don't want to come.
Rose.
I don't want to come.
It's a super. It's a super.
2 supers and a secret. This looks like really fucking cool.
Electric Fires. Raid Raptor Cow.
Okay, so match 1, I am made to go second and no hand traps. And turns out that my opponent is playing Scareclaw. So he does some stuff. He's explaining things to me as well. He searches for the field spell and basically ends with a 3k beater, an extra monster in defense, as well as 2 set cards. So I activate Galaxy 100 and send Photon Jumper to Grave and use its effect. I add Photon Sanctuary to hand and then I immediately get Draw unlocked, which kind of puts a dampener on my plays. So then I use my one and only normal summon on a Photon Delta Wing, using its effect to special summon from deck, but then I get effect veilered, so I just pass turn. So my opponent draws and then links into the link 1 Scareclaw and brings back 1 from Grave, which then allows him to search, and he special summons the added card he uses, and then he uses an effect to pop Galaxy 100. I'm sorry I don't know the names and what they do. He then attacks with the 3k link, destroying Delta Wing. I'm told due to an effect, my defense drops by 200 times the number of Scareclaw monsters my opponent has in defense, and as well I take piercing damage when it attacks a defense monster, so I take 2,400. To the dome, the 3k guy can also attack multiple times, but this is where I use my second jumper in hand to save myself a turn at the cost of my next battle phase. My opponent then passes and I draw Ash, which I could have used on turn 1, but oh well. I normal summon Galaxy Wizard and use its effect to tribute itself to add Photon Dragon to hand. I then use Photon Sanctuary to special summon 2 tokens, then tribute them to special summon Photon Dragon. I then pitch Galaxy Soldier to special summon Galaxy Soldier, which when I attempt to use its effect to add, I get impermed. I then link into Soulfire Dragon and add Jumper to back to hand, and because of Jumper last turn, I can't go into the battle phase, so I pass back to my opponent. My opponent's turn, he uses the effect to pop Soul Flare. He then goes into battle phase and attacks Photon Dragon, and I take damage. My opponent then forgets that he could have attacked again and passes. I draw into Unplayable my second Photon Dragon and pass. My opponent draws for turn, attempts to attack. I use the affected jumper that I added back, and I live a turn, which it then gets popped. I draw and set orbital, but then I scoop to game 2. So game 2, I go first and open a hand built for going second. I summon Delta Wing and use its effect. Then I overlay into Galaxy Photon Dragon. I then use its effect to add Photon Dragon to hand. I then use Photon Sanctuary to get 2 tokens, and then I get nibbed. Lesai, I said to pass.
So my opponent then draws for turn and does the same Scareclaw plays as game 1. After he searches the field spell, I do droll him. He then tries to bring back the card he linked off. I then use Called by the Grave to banish it. He then tries to special summon from hand, but I use Solemn Strike. He then attacks over the token with the link 1 and hits me for 3k from Nib. And after some more plays, I scoop, meaning I've lost round 1. My opponent would then go on to get 2nd place. Okay, so I lost the die roll and I'm made to go 2nd, which is great. My opponent sets 2 and passes, so I'm going in blind on what deck he's playing. I draw for turn and summon Photon Delta Wing and attempt to use its effect, and am met with an Imperm. I then special summon Vanisher. I then activate Galaxy 100 to send Jumper to grave, forgetting that I just placed it in the Imperm column. Oops. I then overlay into Galaxy Photon Dragon and attempt to use its effect, which gets ashed right away. I set a card, swing for 2k, and pass turn. My opponent draws for turn and T-sets passes. I draw, summon my 2nd Delta Wing, and try to use its effect, and it gets impermed once again. I then use Galaxy Photon Dragon effect, and it goes through, adding Photon Dragon to hand. I then tribute Delta Wing and Galaxy Photon Dragon to special summon Galaxy Eyes Photon Dragon, thanks to Galaxy Photon Dragon boosting Delta Wing's attack by 500, meeting Galaxy Eyes special summoning conditions. I then attack the set, and it's here that I learn I'm going up against Raid Raptors. I then pass turn to my opponent, who then scoops, and we go to game 2. So game 2 we both decided not to side deck, and I'm made to go 2nd, and my opponent gets to go full combo with Raid Raptors. Once again, I don't fully know what they do, other than they end on towers, but something funny happens in a bit. So he normal summons a guy, then special summons one from hand, and then he overlays into Raider Knight. I stupidly think he's going to go for Arc Rebellion, but then I remember it's turn 1, so I'm safe. or so I thought. He then ranks up into a guy and detaches to add a rank up, which is then he uses to rank up, and he just detaches again to bring a Raid Raptor from deck in defense. He basically ends on some big guys and a rank set. The main goal for the deck is to end on the new big Raid Raptor XE that can, on my turn, detach 3, blow up my field, and burn me for the original attack of the destroyed monsters. I draw and start to go to do my combo. I bring out Galaxy Soldier by sending Jumper to Grave, and go Chainlink 1 Jumper, Chainlink 2 Galaxy Soldier, adding Galaxy Soldier to hand and Photon Sanctuary. I then use Sanctuary to get 2 tokens, which I tribute to bring out Galaxy Eyes Photon Dragon, and because he's on field I get to special summon Afterglow Dragon. And then my opponent activates the rank up spell. And then this happens.
Doing anything now?
I will be making an XC play here, yes.
Okay, but on resolution of that.
On resolution, he does nothing. He just special summons himself.
Okay, so if you're passing priority to me,
Yep, Prio is passed to you.
I'm going to activate Rise Rank Up Magic Raid Raptor's Force.
Yep,
I'm going to target Force Tricks,
sure,
Raider's Knight, and Bird Tricks.
sure.
And I'm going to overlay all these 3 into another Rising Rebellion token. When this guy's summoned, he's going to, I'm going to activate
Nuke my field.
to nuke your field, and you're going to take 8,000 points of damage. You take damage equal to the combined original attack of the destroyed monsters.
Good game.
We'll go game 3.
Game 3.
Yeah, so I got OTK'd because the 3 monsters I had combined attack equaled 8,000. We go to game 3 inside. Game 3, I opt to go first in hopes to end on a number 90 as a negation. I activate Galaxy 100 to send Jumper to grave. I then use Jumper to add Sanctuary to hand. On res, I get Drolled. I set a card and use Sanctuary to get 2 tokens. I then link into Soul Flare and add back Jumper. I then normal Delta Wing and attempt to use its effect. Now, I sided out the third copy, and I opened both copies in hand. Thankfully, after rereading Delta Wing, I could special summon from hand too. I then pass. Now, I could have Xy'd into Galaxy Photon Dragon, which then would have boosted Soul Flare's attack, but I was banking on the other effect of Delta Wing. By controlling another one, my opponent couldn't target any of my monsters for attack. I then pass turn. My opponent draws and normal summons Tribute Lanius and special summons another Raid Raptor from hand. He then uses an effect to dump a Raid Raptor to grave and then uses that effect to add the same card to hand. He then makes an XC play, he detaches and adds a card, then attempts to special summon the added card. Now, in hindsight, I made 2 misplays. So I nibbed my opponent, clearing his board and mine, hoping that would stop him going full combo, and that I would draw into a way for me to kill him on my turn. I shouldn't have done that with what I had on field, but lessons learned. So the nib did indeed stop him that turn, and he passed, so I drew and activated Monster Reborn to revive Soul Flare and passed. Now it's my opponent's turn and the last turn of the duel, and it's also where I make misplay number 2. As he's doing his combo, I have Jumper in hand, and at one point I use Soul Flare's second effect to dump Jumper to grave and to pop a special summon Raid Raptor on field. He then proceeds to make Arc Rebellion and kill me. I knew it was a massive risk, but I took it anyways, in hopes that by popping the Raid Raptor, it would have ended his turn there and then, like the nib did. But sadly, it didn't, and I could have lived a turn had I not popped the special summon, and still kept Jumper in hand, and hoped that I top deck something good. But even after checking my top deck after admitting defeat, I didn't top deck anything that would have saved me. So yeah, I'm currently X2.
Okay, so round 3, I'm now 0-2, 0 wins, 2 losses, and I get paired up against a Cybers player. And as soon as I see that he's playing Cybers, I'm like, oh shit, I'm probably going to get deck locked. Not deck locked, U-linked. That did not happen. So game 1, I forget how it went, whether I lost game 1 or I won game 1 and lost game 2, or I lost game 1 or won game 2. I can't remember, but basically at one point my only play was to go into Cyber Dragon Infinity, and I'm even after getting Dogwood, where my opponent gained a hefty amount of life points, I still managed to chip away at that life, and then start taking some of his cards through Infinity. He then scooped. So then another game I just lost. I opened very unplayable. The reason why I didn't record match 3, whereas I recorded matches 1, 2, and 4, is because my phone was practically dead by the time I finished recording match 2. It was at like 2% left, and thankfully Coley had brought a portable power bank, so I was charging my phone throughout this duel. And then game 3 happened, and I was getting beat down by a 2,500 attack monster. If you hear rummaging about, that's because my cat has got the zoomies and he's running about right now. But I opened so unplayable game 3. I opened hand traps. I opened just nothing that I could play. So I'm just there, taking the damage, drawing, hoping to get started. It got to the point where I literally set my Ash that I had in my hand in defense. That got attacked over. I drew into Droll and Lockbird. That ended up getting set. Drew into Monster Reborn, and that brought back Droll to, make me live a turn. And then I just had to concede. I had to concede because I was low on life. I had 1,800 life, 1,800 life left, and I just had nothing. I had Nib in hand. I had Afterglow Dragon, which just could not be summoned whatsoever. And yeah, that's the running theme. This locals is I just kept opening unplayable, like super unplayable. And so yeah, now I'm X3. But instead of going X3 drop, I did decide to play the final round, which I then got paired up against my friend Cully, who is a hero player. So now, let's get into that, because I did, of course, record that match. Okay, round 4. Now, I did actually record this duel, because I was going up against my friend, the Michael Cully, who I've also, who I always play against whenever we meet up at my house to play. And, it was the last round. We're both tired, and I would have done what I've done for the first 2 duels, where I go through it, do a little tiny script, and do some audio stuff on it. But because this video is already as long as it is, I don't want it to be an hour long, because I'm literally a half hour before this gets posted, so hopefully I get it up on time. So, game 1, I lost, because I just opened unplayable. There just wasn't a lot that I could do, so scooped it up, went to game 2. Game 2, starting to do some stuff, having some good back and forth, and I eventually take game 2. Game 3, we open, do some stuff. I Nibiru him pretty early on into his combo, that he still does some more stuff, and then I'm going to chop it up to the fact that, it was late. We just done 5 hours worth of Yu-Gi-Oh! Or 4 hours worth of Yu-Gi-Oh! Because the event started at 5. This is getting up to like 9 o'clock at this point. And he has, I think it's DPE and 2 other monsters on field. And he tributes them to bring out Plasma. And he passes. Because I know at this point he could have easily taken my Nibiru and started, doing chip damage to me. So I draw for turn, just can't do anything. I can't play. I keep drawing into unplayable. Like this was like such unplayable. So I then swing into the Plasma, and then it's just back and forth chip game. I'm chipping away, trying to draw something that I can use. He's, just absolutely bricking, can't do much. He's setting stuff, setting hand traps and things. And eventually, I win. So, round 4, I took the W. So, I'm 1-3 for the night, and I came 13th. So, yeah, that was my very first experience at Locals, and I had such a blast. Like, I really had an amazing time, and everyone that I met was so lovely and so kind, and I just had, like I said, had a blast. We all had a blast. So how did my friends do? Well, Gerald, he actually got 3rd place. which was great, which I expected him to do with, how prominent he is with his deck. William actually went 2-2 for his first time playing back in like 4 years. So the last round he got a bye because his opponent left. I think his opponent must have gone X3 drop. So William was over the moon. I of course went 1-3, and my colleague unfortunately went 0-4. But we all had a fantastic time. We all loved it. We're definitely going to be doing more of it. So what does that mean now for the channel moving forward? That this mini-series is finished. I'm still going to be going to locals every now and again. I don't think I'm going to be recording every time I go to locals, so I don't know what's the next video I'm going to do. I do know that I want to change up the deck because holy hell, I kept bricking. Like any other time I've play tested, I've never bricked that bad. To the point where I was just like opening just so unplayable. Like what happened with that Cybers player? That should have been an easy W. But because I just kept top decking stuff that couldn't do me anything, and I was low on life, I literally just had to extend the handshake and scoop there and then. But hey, it's all part of the fun. Like I mentioned in match 2, in game 3, I made quite a few mistakes, but these are all lessons to be learned for next time. So I have an idea of kind of changing the deck, going back to an older route that I used to play like 2 years ago, when I first picked up the deck. So we'll see how things go. But yes, that is going to wrap this up. An amazing turnout at Reroll Games in Navan for Yu-Gi-Oh! It's going to be definitely moving forward. It's actually going to start at 3 moving forward. Had a fantastic time. Loved it. Loved actually getting to experience that first proper Yu-Gi-Oh! Locals and meeting new people. In the past it's always just been my select few friends that play Yu-Gi-Oh! Meeting up at my house, getting some games in. Where this allowed me to actually get experience of, trying to do something and then getting hand trapped and, trying to come up with a way to move forward and stuff. Got to experience playing against new decks that I knew and still don't know exactly what they do, but I'm sure I'll figure out as time goes on. So thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Thank you to those who allowed me to record their duels. And yeah, I had an absolutely amazing time. So I will catch you all on the next upload. I'll see you all next time.